Alright, YouTubers, this is my first video on the X32. I've seen a lot of people say that you have to use a matrix to run sub out on these things. About a year ago, I want to say, thereabouts, Behringer came out with an update that included the Butterworth filters on the mono channel. If you go to the mono channel and you look, you'll see that if you select the high EQ, that you'll find the various different filters here under the mode encoder. I use the Butterworth 24. And you see where basically with this second encoder from the left you can change your crossover point. You could set your tops at a frequency somewhere around in there and cross it over between the tops and the bottoms. I like to run tops full range because I run vocals through the tops and I want the vocals to sound full and loud all on their own. I don't run vocals to subs. I only run bass drum, floor toms, keyboard, and bass to the subs. But anyway, it's real easy to set up, but the first thing you have to do is go to routing, and you have to set up an out for that mono channel. If you wanted to use the outs on the back of the board, you can use one of the bus outs. You just need to select that. I use bus 6, and you can see that I have it set to the main left-right channel, and it's post fader. So I use 7 and 8 for main left and right when I'm using the bus outs on the back to feed. So you can't use the mono bus until you have that set up. I believe it is not set up by default. This board, I believe when I got it, came with the outs 7 and 8 active, but the mono channel I don't think was. You have to sign that, I believe. Now you can test that on your own and see, but I believe that you'll find that it is not assigned. Now you can also go to the alternate and do the same thing, and you'll find that if you use turbo sounds like I do, they have the IQ setup page and the alternate setup page. Now I don't have mine set at this point. I have it in a different setup, but not on this particular scene at this time. But it sets up the same way. If I were going to do it, I use channel 14 and then 15, 16, and it assigns exactly the same way, and then would appear at your alternate 14, 15, 16 channels. Real simple setup. Anyway, so once you have that routing set up, then you go back to, like I say, you go back to you're on your matrix layer and select the mono channel, and then go to the EQ and set your filter, set your low pass filter. Once you've done that, then you can go to any channel, and I'm just going to select a channel here. I'll go to channel 1, and if you look, then I'm going to go home. Actually, it's easier to see right here, just on the main left-right bus. But there is a button here. I forget where it is in the home page, but it'll show the mono bus active too, I believe. But anyway, if you have the full board, it's right here. I know that you can find it. You can find it in other remote software like the iPad X32 software, the Mix 32, I believe it is. And then all you have to do, basically, I'm sorry, not that's main left right. The mono bus, you want that active. Obviously, you want your left right active too if you're sending to your tops. But once you have that set, we have our fader volume up, and we go to the mono bus, turn it on, and dial up however much you want in your sub. That's it. Other than the fact that on the matrix layer, you do need to make sure that that the fader's up. Why they hit it on the matrix layer? I guess on the compact, it's on the matrix layer. If you have the full board, I think it's right next to the left-right. The only other thing that you need to do here, there's two ways you can use this. You can use it where your fader on the matrix layer controls it completely, your sub volume. The only problem with that is then when you turn your mains down, your subs are still active. So to remedy that, you just go to Setup, and you go to the second page, I believe it is, and if you look there is this mono center depends on main, left, right. So if you change that and select that, now when you turn your left, right volume up and down, it will affect the volume on your mono bus. So that's it, basically. So just recap, you have to route it first. You have to route your output to whatever out you want. Then you go to your mono bus itself and select it, and then go to the EQ and set up your filter, and then just go to Setup and set your mono center channel depends on main, left, right, which is the way I like to run it. I like it when I turn my main volume up and down, I want it to affect the subs as well. And then on your individual channel, you just assign it to your mono bus and then turn it up and down. It's very simple. It works very well. You know, the purist is going to tell you something different, but if you always like to use the mono bus on the older boards, and that's, you know, most people did on the analog boards, you use that mono channel for subs. That's what it's for. You can do it here too, very simply, and that's how you do it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Just leave a message below, and I'll be happy to answer it. Thank you.